Disneyland with Kids podcast, bringing you travel tips, park tidbits, and the best Southern California travel deals. What a year it has been, Jessica. I can't believe we are at the very end of 2023. I'm Becca with this crazy adventure called life.
And I'm Jessica from the happiest vlog on earth.
All right, Jessica, it's only fitting that we do a year in review podcast for the end of the year. And so much happened at the Disneyland Resort this year. I mean, it does every year, but this year was huge, right?
And they kicked it off so quickly, too. I remember at the end of last year, we're like, all right, brace ourselves because we're going to be there a lot.
Yeah, and it's really funny because, like, normally I think each of us does about one trip a month. I think both of us had several months where we were there multiple times. But so the year at Disneyland kicked off on the 27th of January, really, is when everything really kicked off. Mm-hmm. And that started with the Disneyland, or not Disneyland, that started with the Disney 100 celebration, which was based in Disneyland the most, and it's carried on to the other theme parks as well. But Jessica, what was the main highlight of that day? Not the ride. There were several highlights that day. I gotta be careful. What was the main highlight of the decor and everything?
There's not a right or wrong answer.
No.
But we had one thing that I love is the fountains at the castle.
Yes.
I want the fountains to stay forever.
Yes.
The purple and platinum. We had Mickey and Minnie dressed up in Disney 100. We had Disney 100 treats. And we had two new shows. We had fireworks and projections at Disneyland, Wondrous Journey. And then we had World of Color 1 at California Adventure.
Yes, both were amazing. I'm hoping they bring Wondrous Journey back next year because it was so good. So good. It had Baymax flying, all that good stuff. It was great. But we can't talk about the kickoff of the 100 without talking about some of the quality control issues that happened. And I hate to bring it, but it was so fun because they have banners up as you walk in Disney, and it had like the rides and everything and what year they opened. But people started noticing that some of those years were wrong.
Yeah, and there was other like typos in the banners.
Yes.
And the Mickey statue
had the wrong quote on it. I can't even remember what it did.
I know I have pictures of the wrong one.
Yes.
It's like, and then once it's all started by a mouse, it's something like that, right?
Yeah, but it was similar, but it was off.
Yes, but then once you see both of them, then you're like, well, which one is right? Now I can't even remember.
Right.
So made it into the parks.
And it just seemed to be like a little like issue for a little bit because even like the construction walls had typos on the signs.
I mean, that's what happens when you use AI.
Disney's using AI for everything. Yeah, so it was interesting. Even Disney isn't perfect.
Yeah,
they put things out.
Typos.
So January 27th, we had the kickoff of the Disney 100. We also had a new ride open at Disneyland Resort. Mm-hmm. And it is the ride with the best queue of any ride.
Before too. Yeah, it's just, you got to keep mentioning it. And it feels like Runaway Railway.
Well, hold on. We didn't even say the full name of this. Okay. You got to tell us. What was the
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway? It feels like they built Toontown for that ride, even though Toontown has been around since the 90s and then they just barely put in this ride. It just fits. It's so beautiful. It's perfect.
You were just telling me because we did an episode on Hidden Mickeys, and you just found a new to you Hidden Mickey on the ride this last time. It's your favorite one. What was it?
In Daisy's dance studio, and I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. So the one thing I love about this ride is there are so many Hidden Mickeys. You will find a new one every single time. I swear there are probably like 15 to 20 in every single scene.
Probably.
Because there are so many. And there is, in the Disneyland version, there is also a Hidden Club 33.
Yes.
Which I love.
So cute.
And one reason we say it has the best queue is because it's like you go through this memorabilia of all of the Mickey stuff. But this, surprisingly, is the first ride featuring Mickey and Minnie.
Right.
Like, you would think that would have been the first thing they did, but they didn't. Like,
I know.
It took 100 years for there to be a Mickey and Minnie ride in Disneyland. Isn't that crazy?
It's really cool. It's fun
Like,
to see.
I'm not 100 years since Disneyland opened, but 100 years for the company. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, so we had all that happen, but when Mickey and Minnie's opened, Toontown was closed. It was like really weird. Like you went, there were just walls everywhere, right? Because they decided to totally redo Toontown. And we know how sometimes the redos are kind of like meh, but sometimes they're great. So when Toontown didn't open until March, and you and I went for the opening of it, and it was great.
It's just and it's so well loved, so loved that they've had to close parts of it and redo it because loved by kids of all ages and abilities.
Yes, and that's one thing I do love. It's a lot more inclusive in the play areas and stuff, and they've added more play stuff. They now have stuff from the Goofy movie. There's a Powerline poster in Toontown now that you can find.
The background music is the best.
Yes. So lots of great stuff there as well. And I just love it. And I love the thing that you posted a reel on. And now, because with the fountain, you noticed something.
Yes. Yes. Dirty Dancing moments.
Yes.
Mickey and Minnie having their lake.
Like, yeah, I've had the time of my life.
It's so great.
Yes. So I never thought of it until you put it in a reel. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it totally is a dirty dancing moment.
Yeah. It's something for everyone.
Yeah. We also saw a new character arrive with the opening of Toontown, which is Pete the Cat, who has still to this day eluded me.
Ghosting you.
Well, this last time I was there, I saw him, but he was I only saw him as he was walking back to go back for his break. So Jessica rubbed it in my face that she got me recently. She's like sending me selfies. It's all good. I'll meet him one day. So we will see. But yeah, that's a great addition. I love that Disney has these play areas for kids.
Yeah.
So moving on. Also around, I think it was March or May. I can't remember exact dates because so much has happened this year. Magic Happens Parade came back. Oh my gosh, I was so happy. This was the parade that debuted 2 weeks before the world shut down. And it had not returned. And it was an amazing parade. It is an amazing parade, I should say. I hope they bring back. It's on hiatus now because we have the holiday parades and stuff. But I love it. Not as much as I love Paint the Night, but it's up there. Like my problem with this, I feel like it's too short. I just feel like I want more from it.
So good.
But it's really, really good. Great parade. Okay. Moving forward, what's something else that happened this year?
Rogers the Musical was like, 6 weeks? It was super short.
It was.
But we had something in the theater at California Adventure.
Jessica says something.
People loved it.
She was not the biggest fan. I loved it. I think we figured out one of the big things is that it wasn't a full Broadway production like we're used to in that space. And also I felt like you had to buy the premium package, which was not expensive by any means, but you had to buy that to get the best experience. And so I feel like that created I've watched all the videos from people that were watching from other areas, and it's nowhere near as good. Like you don't get the feeling you do when you're in that premium viewing area. So I definitely feel like, it was good. I love the music from it. I have the soundtrack on my playlist because that's now available. But it was great, and it was nice to have something there for sure.
Oh, yes.
Definitely was needed. I hope they find something else to bring back into that space. If not Rogers, then another.
Yeah. And I actually don't mind like the shorter runs. The other ones we had, they were in for years. And I think it's fun to do something that's a little quicker turnaround.
And I think if we get used to that type of style and that style of show, it might be a little better too. So
we'll see what 2024 means.
We will. Okay, so when we were discussing what we are going to talk about in this episode, we totally skipped over one thing.
Okay.
And that's something that happened. We were together again. And it was the very end of August.
Yes.
Like the day
before.
San Francisco. So this is another reimagining. And this is one that they didn't close the land while they reimagined it. And so everyone was just like, there's no way this is going to be great. It's just changing the bridge to the San Francisco bridge. It's not really a real makeover. They were wrong. I love San Francisco.
very
I love the
cute.
area. It's great. And of course, what's the best part of San Francisco?
Baymax. Yeah. He is so cute.
He is.
Oh my gosh. And whether you see him in a meet and greet, whether you order a Baymax macaron or you get like a Baymax plush, he's cute in all forms.
They have a Baymax Squishmallow.
Yes. And the balloon too.
And the balloon, which is adorable. But they have the Squishmallow and it is huge. And it's a s'more. It's so cute.
I mean, we all need that.
Yeah. That's like
just too much.
It's great. But it's a great addition. I love the area. They even have some Christmas decorations in the area. So,
and another thing about that space is the background music is some of the music from Disney Tokyo.
yes.
So that's really cool.
Yes. And I was talking with people, they're like, you go to Tokyo and they all know all the songs, and they
So
sing and
cool.
dance to the songs there with the Baymax ride. So
it's got a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, so we had that, and then the Halloween overlay. Oh, we also missed that a ride. We said goodbye to a ride forever.
That's right. Splash Mountain will be reimagined, and we have been waiting on that, and we'll be seeing that in our next year, and we'll talk about that in our 2024 episode too.
Yes, definitely. So we said goodbye to it. The only thing that surprised me about, we knew this was coming, it had been announced a long time ago. I was just surprised they closed it on like the end of May.
Mhm.
I wish they would close it earlier or waited
Right.
just, and it's not because I wanted the ride to stay open or anything like that. It's just that it's a water ride and now you're down a water ride in the middle of summer that you had open all winter. It's like, when we needed it, it's not there. So, but I know it'll be great. I'm excited for it. And with that, after San Francisco, there was another opening that's kind of related to that ride in New Orleans Square. We got a new restaurant and a new mobile order restaurant, which is nice. So what is that?
Tiana's Palace. And I have to say that I haven't eaten there, but it is so gorgeous.
Beautiful.
It's stunning.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for that space.
Definitely. And there's a totally different vibe during the day and at night. I went over to do pictures and video both times, and I love the nighttime because the lights just look great. It really makes it look like it's a riverboat. And also, they have a jazz combo, like either a trio or I can't remember if it's trio or something, that plays on the little stage there. And it's just amazing. And so definitely something to check out. Like I mentioned, it has mobile order, which is a huge time saver. So that's basically everything that happened this year. Did I miss anything?
I'm sure there's something like in a tree.
Oh, yeah. And I was there. That's right. So for a long time, Tarzan's Treehouse has been closed. And then they finally announced they were actually reimagining it. And it just opened. And I was actually there on the day that they had the Magic Key preview, so I was able to preview it, and then I actually feel like I lucked out. I got to see it at night, which is amazing. But this treehouse, I'm going to say right now, was built for us, like our age, the people that grew up going to Disney, that had the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. There is no longer like bridges to run across or anything like that. There are a lot of stairs, and both Kim from Getaway Today and I were feeling that.
Oh,
okay. So there are a lot of stairs. However, it is so fun. It's got a whole new storyline, and I kind of connect to the storyline because it's a family of 5. They have twin boys, which I have, and then there's an older sibling. Their older sibling's a girl. And then they live this life, and their life is inspired by the Swiss Family Robinson book, the Tarzan stories, and a few others. And the daughter's into astronomy, the sons are into flora and fauna, which is plants and animals, and the mom's into music, and the dad's a Renaissance man. He makes all these inventions for their lifestyle. So it's really great. And you'll find some like hidden Easter eggs from the previous versions of the treehouse in
I can't
the
wait
whole
to
thing.
see it.
So I love it. It's great. I think it's best at night. It has had a line to go up because they're doing a really good job at making it not super crowded.
And so you get to experience it.
Yeah, so you get to experience it. And that line can be from 15 to 30 minutes. So that's our year in review. But speaking of years in review, Jessica, this has been a big year for the Design Kids podcast. We're back. We're back. We had taken a year off and now we're back and we're weekly. So I was wondering, have we had any reviews recently?
Yes, we have one that I wanted to share, and it is MMR Design and Photography. Says, love this podcast. Love the shorter, more focused episodes. Super informative with opposing opinions and perspectives, which is super helpful since each family is dynamic and different. And this family's going in a few weeks, and they love getting the refreshing and current beat on what's happening in the parks. And they're excited to hear more.
Great.
We're excited.
Yeah. And you saw some of the opposing views, like Rogers. We have a little bit of opposing view on that. But yeah, I love that Jessica and I, we do the parks similarly in some ways, but other ways we have totally different experiences. Mm-hmm. So it's really great to have that. And we want to hear more from you guys and what helps you so that we can better support you guys in planning your trips to Disneyland. That's all we have time for this day and this year. We'll see you next year with an episode looking forward to 2024. Bye.